just now, this very moment, I learned Kai, the Beanie Baby company, still around. Did not know that. Introducing a Maui Strong limited edition Beanie Baby teddy bear.
Okay.
Yeah, just saw that. Good Morning
I'm
America.
sure it'll be worth so much money in 20 years.
Did you see the Beanie Baby movie on?
Which one?
The narrative one, not the
The
documentary.
narrative one. No, I've not seen the narrative one. I've only seen the various specials and documentaries and whatever.
I can't remember which one the narrative's on. Is it Hulu? I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you.
I've enjoyed the approximately 60% of it that I have watched. We'll see if I can finish it. Anyway, hey, who are we? Welcome to LPTV Disney Morning Show. Slow Friday morning here, Kyle. This should be a quickie. My name is Doobie Mosley, founder here at Laughing Place. Over there is our managing editor, Kyle Burbank. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well. It's a weird time, but here we are.
It is. Yeah, we had yesterday a lot going on in the world of Ahsoka, including my wife at Disneyland, so I had to go yank her from the airport.
Did I freeze or did Doobie? I guess it's Doobie. Hi. Yes, we're going to get things started as soon as Doobie gets back, the way we start every show, even though it is 10:30 in the morning. And,
Am I back?
You're back. Let's get started with the way we always do.
You know what I forgot to do was unplug the wire. All right, here we go. All right, Kai, within $1.
Okay.
Refresh this page. What are we looking at today?
86.5.
86.50. We have 85.65. Kai has
Within
nailed
$1.
it again. You are
Benjamin shaking his head. I was correct within $1, Benjamin.
I feel like I'm off. I feel like you're wait a minute. I got 3 and 2. You're 3 and 2.
Being correct within $1 when the price fluctuates usually about 25 to 50 cents is not the accomplishment.
But it does, because you have to know which direction to remember which way to go.
Disney stock on any given day fluctuates more than $1. Yesterday at this time, it was more than $1 different than it is today right now.
Also, you guys gave me garbage when I said the stock price was going to be 85 in October, and you're like, lower?
So we're going to see. If he gets these too much, we'll go back. We started off, he had to be within 50 cents. If this is too easy, we'll go back to 50 cents. But he was pathetic. So anyway, hey, Ben, how you doing? There's the CEO of LP. Hang around. We're going to talk Ahsoka in just a moment. But first, we have to give our boy Ethan a chance to talk.
Hello there and happy Friday. Welcome to another LP Disney weather update. I walk along the city streets you used to walk along with me, and every step I take reminds me of just how we used to be. Well, how can I forget you, girl? When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. As shadows fall, I pass the small cafe where we would dance at night, and I can't help recalling how it felt to kiss and hold you tight. Well, how can I forget you, girl? When there is always something there to remind me. Let's get to the weather. While Anaheim does have a tropical storm watch for this weekend, today it will be sunny and hit a high of 87 that feels like 87. So it's still normal SoCal for now. Walt Disney World will be partly cloudy today with scattered thunderstorms possible around 2 to 3 p.m. They'll hit their high of 92 around lunch but fall into the 80s after the projected storms pass. Castaway Cay will be partly cloudy today as well, but their scattered storms will likely hold off until the evening. Per usual, their high will be 89 and feel like 101. Clouds are moving into Disneyland Paris tonight as they fall into the upper 70s. Tomorrow, Tokyo will see sunny skies and a high of 94. That puts their heat index at a max of 105. Shanghai could experience some scattered storms in the morning and again in the early afternoon, but most of the day should be partly cloudy to sunny with a high of 91. Lastly, Hong Kong will start and end the day with thunderstorms tomorrow, although there should be a few dry hours in the evening. They'll still manage a high of 85 that feels like 97. That wraps another week of Disney weather updates. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.
When he stands there and doesn't even move, it's almost like he's a robot instead of a real creature. It's kind of scary.
You know who's not having a fantastic weekend?
Disneyland.
Yeah. And even if they were having a fantastic weekend, it would surely not be a fantastic weekend every night.
He's got naked eyes himself, I think, he's just kind of vacant there. All right, let's get started. The big story, of course, is Ahsoka. So much Ahsoka news. It premiered last night, 5 locations across the country, 5 different fan events. There was ILM up in San Francisco. There was El Capitan in Hollywood, California. New York City apparently had a premiere somewhere.
New York
New York
City.
Walt Disney World Hollywood Studios, and finally Disneyland Resort at the Magic Eye Theater. Laughing Place was at 4 of those 5 locations.
Magic Eye Theater. How old are we? Between the Picante, Pace Picante joke and the Magic Eye Theater, we're really dating ourselves here.
We were at 4 of those locations, bringing you coverage all night last night. Had a lot of fun. We went on live after the social embargo lifted. You guys got to hear 2 very different opinions of Ahsoka from Mike Celestino and Benji Breitbart. Now, Mike, of course, is our Star Wars editor, so his opinion is the one that counts. But Benji, we recently learned, had a positive review of Elemental on TV, so he's usually Mr. Positive, and apparently he was not very happy with Ahsoka. We'll hear from him in a second. We also got Rebecca to come on for a brief moment and give her opinion, break the tie, and she gave it a solid thumbs up, but highly recommends you get familiar with the backstory before you just dive right in like I'm about to.
Just watch, 5 seasons of television or so, and then you'll be good.
And I was ready to
know the rest of the backstory.
I was ready to dive in on Wednesday. Speaking of old stuff, I was ready to dive in on Wednesday, and then just this morning I find out I can dive in on Tuesday. What was that huge news, Kyle?
So they're gonna treat this like they do with movies, where they're like, "Hey, it comes out on Friday, but really it comes out on Thursday at like 6 or 7 p.m." They're gonna start releasing, starting with the premiere. Ahsoka will debut on Disney Plus at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and all the other time zones in between. So yeah, that'll happen on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays, but it'll still officially, like, I've been checking the Disney Plus site. It still says the 23rd. Moments before they made this announcement, in a very weird way, they had other tweets that still said the 23rd. So, as usual, all the different departments of Disney are on the same page, lockstep.
That's huge. It is like the movie where it's just a few hours before, but for people like me who can't stay up till midnight because we have jobs and also just are old, I get to see it on Tuesday night instead of Wednesday night. So I'm very
Unless there's too much demand, in which case nobody gets to watch it.
Those days are long gone, Kyle. Come on. All right, so Ahsoka's coming on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, which is exciting. I felt like there weren't group watches at midnight /3 a.m., but now I feel like Twitter's going to be a buzz. It's like people are going to be live tweeting it while they're watching it, and that's really exciting. I'm so happy they've made that change. I hope that extends to every major show that Disney Plus does from now on. Create that zeitgeist. By the way, we'll be doing Disney Trivia Live during that, so we advise you to watch us, not Ahsoka.
No, you can watch Ahsoka first. It's 6 o'clock. You don't go until 7:30.
Aren't these two?
Well, the premiere night would be difficult because, how long is the premiere? How long are the episodes?
Oh, the 2-hour premiere, yeah.
According to you, each episode's an hour and a half.
Oh, dude.
You might have to push back till 8.
You might have to push back the morning show.
Let's jump right into it. So I'm putting in the chat right
it's
now.
not Pirates too.
A link to our social reaction article. The internet reacted. The vast majority of it was positive. Some of it extremely positive. Our own Mike
On Twitch
Celestino.
this morning, apparently.
Yeah, we are. We're on Twitch every morning. Our own Mike Celestino really liked it. Rebecca really liked it. But the only person available to join us this morning was Ben Breitbart. So, Ben, let's get your opinion.
I wouldn't say I didn't like it. I would just say it's very slow paced. And my concern, it's slow paced, and to get a true emotional connection, I really think you do need to have some sort of familiarity, not just with Ahsoka, but with the whole Rebels storyline. So I'm concerned about its accessibility. Mandalorian, I don't think you needed to know much, particularly at the beginning. But there's a scene at the beginning where it's just like, get to the point. We know what you're gonna do. Like, you just know where. I was thinking about today too. Like, there's so many times when I could predict the next line said because it was such like obvious what the next person was gonna say. There was not a lot of, it's kind of like if you wrote it in your head but didn't edit it. This is what you would end up with.
Wow, that's pretty harsh criticism.
I mean, it's great to see the characters again. It also felt like the first 2 episodes was like a prologue in many ways, and that now you're going to begin the adventure. So I'm hoping the adventure happens. And I mean, you can have the debate whether you should do viewers go in with trailer knowledge or not. So it's sort of the big. There's something in the trailer that makes what happens in the beginning, just seem kind of pointless because it's going to happen, and so it's just like, we know what's going to happen, so just let it happen.
I know Mike Celestino points out that it definitely seems like it's going to be an 8-hour movie, or an 8-episode movie, as opposed to 8 individual episodes in any way. Like it's just one big long arc. So
Yeah, but don't all these?
I don't feel like necessarily. Certainly, season 1 of The Mandalorian to me really felt like, obviously it all tied together, but I think each episode really stood on its own.
I'll give you that one, but I feel like Obi-Wan, even maybe up further seasons of Ahsoka, they may have episodes that go on, but it kind of continuously moved forward. WandaVision, is a bad example, but Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Some do,
Knight.
some don't. Some
Yeah.
do, some don't. So let me give the contrarian opinion here. This is Mike Celestino's thoughts on it. Ahsoka is awesome. It's got just about everything a Star Wars fan could want out of a live-action TV series, but the thing I admire most about it might actually be its deliberate pacing. Scenes are allowed to play out at an organic rate rather than being rushed along by (1) rapid-fire editing. The only major problem I can foresee is viewers being frustrated by the density of the mythology, and they're not already familiar with the animated series, The Clone Wars, and Star Wars Rebels. Otherwise, I honestly think it's pretty top-notch and might actually know (2) might actually be (2) the most cinematic of all the Star Wars TV shows so far. Fantastic cast, great writing and direction, fun action. Can't wait to see the rest of the series (3). So there is the contrarian opinion to. And most of the social reaction last night was like Mike, some even far higher than Mike, some saying this is the best thing Disney Plus has ever presented. So,
Well, it was a fan event, so
excellent point. Not a bad point at all.
No, and I think this is, I don't call it fan service because it's not like that. It's done, not just throwaway, but this is if you loved Rebels, and I did like Rebels, but this is, if you are super passionate about Rebels, you're gonna really enjoy seeing this world again, regardless of sort of its pacing. I mean, I just never thought of organic pacing as have you ever tried to watch like a plant grow? I mean,
wow. I personally love movies.
Put that on the poster. Have you ever tried watching a plant grow?
I like movies that have slow pacing like that. Slow burns. I'm a big fan of slow burn.
I like slow burn with plot. I don't necessarily like slow burn with shots. Like, I like Captain America: The First Avenger. It took its time before he became Captain America. Like, I like that. But,
you just felt the individual shots just linger. As you said last night, they linger 10, 15 seconds longer than they need to. And that is how they fill out that 1 hour runtime that they were mandated to have.
It was like they got feedback that the Mandalorian episodes were too short. So they're like,
I'm excited to see this for myself and see why Benji is so wrong. So this premiered, as I said, at these 5 fan events, which had varying levels of excitement. I believe of the 4 we were at, the one you were at, Benji, had the least amount of fanfare around the show.
Yeah, I would say it was the smallest scale. I mean, you're at Lucasfilm with the 501st. I mean, it definitely had energy. I'm not trying to say it was, blasé, but it was, we didn't get to go to Disneyland or, the funniest thing was they did a raffle, and they give you a raffle ticket, we check in, and they're like, we're giving out 80 Ahsoka lightsabers. And you're like, there's probably like 120 people here. Like, it maybe have just been more efficient too.
Mike Celestino was at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, where they had costumes and such, a lot of cosplayers, costume contest, I believe. Whoop, wrong button. There we go. And they also had this really cool. What was the droid? Do you remember the droid's designation?
I I have a hard time pronouncing it, so I'm
But-
not going to say it because.
Okay, so but they had an animatronic with him there. Do you know if that's in this video? I don't think it is.
It should be at some point. I know Alex edited it in.
They put it up on an IG story. I'm not sure if it ended up in the video. I hope it did. We'll find out. But these costumes were, and this is just for this, right? It's not like a.
They're right there, right there.
So here is the droid that they had a cool AA of coming to life. Really cool.
And this is my favorite character, actually. Humorous, but at the same time, isn't just a joke character. I like him.
And it's not like Ahsoka's going to be here all week, right? Is this display just for this one night?
Yeah, tonight they're showing Cinderella, so
Appropriate for Cinderella. But pretty cool. So Mike may have won, although Rebecca at Disneyland, this is pretty cool too. Rebecca at Disneyland, among the things they got to do were they got lightsabers, which was kind of cool. They got to see the show with popcorn and such, obviously. And they got to see Ahsoka, because Ahsoka...
Oh. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the whole point, dude.
No, not that one. This one. I'm not sure. Actually, I got to be fair. I don't think everyone at the fan event got to see Ahsoka. I think this was just the media that got to see Ahsoka. But there she is. She will be coming to Disneyland on August 23rd, which was the original premiere for the show. So hopefully my Celestina will be there to get her. Premieres August 23rd, showing start 6 p.m. August 22nd.
That would be funny. But yeah, as far as we know, just Disneyland for now. Sounds like it's going to be exclusive to them. So we get ready for the Be Fair to Florida hashtag to be trending. And I'd be remiss if we didn't note that Ahsoka, a version of Ahsoka, has appeared at Disney Parks before. I believe she was at Star Wars Weekends, and then she was also most recently at Star Wars Night at Disneyland. So, but obviously that was more inspired by the younger Clone Wars version of her. So now we have this adult version, I guess, is what they probably wants to call it.
And this is Rebecca and my son Giddy meeting Ahsoka last night. The last night was in Launch Bay, because this was just a media preview. She will be in Galaxy's Edge when she comes out next Wednesday. Really cool. So that's, I think that's what's going on in the world of Ahsoka. Lots going on. Very excited for this to launch, especially at 6 p.m. Twitter excitement. It's going to be so much fun. I hope Disney watches the zeitgeist that gets created over this and does this for all of their stuff. I can't even understand why it's not always been this way. I would love to understand. Maybe it was a technical issue and they finally figured it out.
Well, we'll see if they figure it out. It has to happen first, Doobie.
Okay. Ye of little faith. Like, they don't know how to handle multiple people streaming by now?
No, this is a company that they're very good at what they do. They sell theme park tickets. So when they sell theme park tickets, that should go off without a hitch. And so it does. That's what they do. They say tickets are going to go on sale at this time. They go on sale at this time. No problems. Just like Ticketmaster. They sell tickets to concerts. So when they have tickets to concerts, there's not going to be any issues.
Era is a different thing altogether, though. Come on. She is the biggest musical act of all time. Well, let's be real here. While we have the CEO here, you recently wrote a series of 3 articles for the business-minded among those out watching. I could have said that better. You want to talk about what the genesis of that was and just go into that a little bit?
Sure. So I, Bob Iger did his did his earnings call, and he talked about the 3 growth engines for the Walt Disney Company, which were theatrical studios, parks, and streaming, which isn't exactly rocket science to figure that out. But I wanted to take a look, based on what he said in that earnings call and kind of what we know, how what does the growth look like? Do we think it's just an option to actually happen? What are the challenges to that growth? And so I just thought it would be interesting. I don't know if anyone read it, but it was interesting to me. So,
well, okay. Anything in particular you want to focus on, either net positive or negative?
Well, I mean, it's not so much that it's a net positive or negative, but I think what's interesting is you have two of those three businesses are frozen with a strike. Now on the business side, they're raising prices, but in terms of like, we don't know what Bob Iger's vision for creating streaming content is going to look like for Disney Plus or even Hulu because they can't greenlight anything right now. So if you focus on the parks, which I think is a little bit more of an active question, they you have an investment is lower this year than it was last year by a significant margin. So if they think that the parks are going to grow, they're going to be spending a lot of money, but we have no idea what that money is going to be spent on at this point. I shouldn't say no idea. I mean, there's rumors and we have some idea, but I would expect in the next month, we're going to hear a lot. Now, Destination D23 is happening, but also there's a Disney investor conference on the parks business happening in September. So my assumption would be that they're going to announce a lot of stuff at Destination D23, talk about the business implications at this investor conference, and sort of a justification on the investment. And I think, the zeitgeist, I think, was that they were disappointed in Josh D'Amaro's D23 Expo presentation. And I'm too close to judge whether it was right or wrong, but that was the feedback I was hearing. So it'd be interesting to see if they redeem that here at a much smaller event, but at the same time, these things, one thing that's sort of frustrating about D23 Expo or Comic-Con is that, your projects don't line up to be announced at a specific, greenlight a project to announce it at this thing. You kind of look what's around and you kind of funnel it in. So, is this going to be the chance for them to kind of say, here's the grand vision for Disney parks for the next 5-10 years and, get people excited? I hope so, because I think we could use a little enthusiasm at Disney right now. And there's all sorts of things Disney is fighting that are dumb. So it'd be nice to have something optimistic to look forward to.
So we are crossing our fingers that September is going to be a very, very exciting month for Disney parks. And then this morning we got some news that's pushing us in that direction as on September 7th. Kyle, what's going on?
As it says, Tiana's Palace will be opening at Disneyland Park. We've seen this was getting close. They added the Steam stacks not too long ago. So only a couple weeks away.
That is cool. Looking forward to this restaurant replacing French Market over in New Orleans.
It's hard to remember. There's too many restaurants in that area.
Got French Market.
Not Club 33. It's not Cafe Orleans. It's not Blue Bayou. It's not
the West Side Diner.
Lafitte's. And also over at Disneyland, this looks like perhaps it's heading for an opening soon. Maybe September, I don't know. But Adventureland Treehouse starring...
It's weird because I was assured that this was opening in February. Because I trust Disneyland calendars. This Treehouse is looking good. It's looking like its old self a bit.
Yeah, it is. So presented by, Adventureland Treehouse, inspired by Swiss Family Robinson, featuring the waters of Moana.
Maybe even Walt Disney Swiss Family Robinson.
I think you're right. A lot going on with this title.
Based on a novel Push by Sapphire.
It's a lot of words for something that everyone's just going to call the Treehouse.
The Treehouse. I know when Benji used to work at Disney, those who don't know, and I always laugh at how the cast has a standard name for every attraction that is not necessarily the actual attraction, but it is what every cast member calls it. And so, what is this? Just Treehouse in Florida?
Actually, it's just tree.
My favorite is, what is Light Show?
That's the electrical water pageant.
Water pageant. It just
one of my favorite is Country Bear Jamboree. Is just bear band.
And what's weird, every job has these weird nomenclature that, even when I worked at the movie theater, it's because, they have like grand opening teams so that people from existing theaters go to the new one. So it spreads across multiple states. So anytime you have one of those little trash cans in the not like the big ones that you dump your stuff into as the movie gets out, but just like the little ones. They're called bullets because they look like bullets. Every theater I ever worked at called it that.
We need some LP nomenclature. I know we have like a Tony.
We have lots of nomenclature.
Hold a Tony. So Mike Celestino yesterday was at the You think you want to work for a website. Oh, how cool and glamorous to go to all these cool events. It's hard work. Last night, Mike Celestino was at the El Capitan seeing Osaka.
You're seeing Oksana Bayul.
Ahsoka. Man, it just popped out of my head. And then this morning he had to wake up early and go play at Disneyland. And what exactly is this event called, Benji?
The Disney Junior and Friends Playdate.
Right there on the title. And so he's there to learn a lot about what's coming to Disney Junior soon. They put out a release with some new shows. Mickey Mouse
This is
Clubhouse
basically like they
2.0.
did they do like the Disney Channel Fan Fest? It's like that, but younger.
Yeah, and they did a Disney Junior thing, I want to say maybe about a year ago. Because, these aren't covered by SAG. So...
Sorry, Tony. You said that's what this is about? These aren't covered by SAG?
Well, no, I mean, that's not what it's about, but, it's a thing. You can see Doc McStuffins is returning again.
Yes.
Mickey's wearing his Toontown outfit.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse 2.0 working.
Yeah,
title.
it's like I would point out that that's the working title, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's happening again or whatever. What's
happening now? What's happening now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mickey's Clubhouse now.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh is wearing a hoodie.
Got Mickey and Friends.
After MASH. I just don't know which way they're going to go with this.
Mickey and Friends Legacy, perhaps.
Yeah.
Mickey and
I still
Friends
think that Winnie the Pooh, even though that Winnie the Pooh is wearing a hoodie, I still think he sounds like Jim Cummings and not a shouty 8-year-old.
Mike Celestino does not like how Winnie the Pooh sounds. He's made that clear.
He sounds terrible in those new shorts.
What else is
Also,
coming?
I'm pretty sure. Sorry, the MC there is the trumpet player for Suburban Legends.
Oh.
I do know his name is Jamie. I'm just kidding. That's for the other show.
We got, but just to the
Mickey and Friends Trick or Treats coming October 1st on Disney Channel, October 2nd on Disney Plus. They announced a lot of new holiday episodes and premiere dates.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is we're used to the Halloween themed episodes and stuff, but they're doing two that I think are particularly interesting. One is they're doing a stop motion Halloween special called Mickey and Friends Trick or Treats. I don't know if you saw the holiday special they did over the holidays, but I think it's cool that you get to see Mickey in a new way. And it was, I asked him, like, how did you do the ears, right? Like, because Mickey always has ears, or circles. And he's like, well, they had to put magnets in the head so that they could keep moving the ears. I thought that was cool.
That's cool. That is cool.
And then another one, there's a special holiday themed episode of Marvel's Spidey and his Amazing Friends themed to Rosh Hashanah. So,
that should be more fun than the one they were going to theme to Yom Kippur.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
So I think that may be you get a lot of like Hanukkah themed episodes. This may be a first.
Great, totally great. I'm very happy about that.
And then there's also a Dia de los Muertos episode of Mickey Mouse Funhouse. And there's some casting news too for Robo Gobo and Disney Junior's Ariel. And I think the big news here is that Yvette Nicole Brown does not listed in any of these things, which is perhaps the most shocking thing.
Disney legend Yvette Nicole Brown, right?
Patron saint of Disney Plus.
Oh, that works. Still at the Disneyland, and Mike is still there. Is he still there? Is that still going on?
Yeah, that's going on all day.
So Mike is here. Let's pick out some more of these pictures before we move on. Here we've got Doc McStuffins, who said she is coming back again. Love that meet and greet. So follow Mike on Twitter all day, Young Jedi Adventures, which I think is the one thing on Disney Junior thing Mike actually watches. Not mistaken.
Yeah.
Do you do episode recaps for those?
No, but I will say, when you're planning things out and you're like, sometimes you go, oh, this person would be great for this. And sometimes you go, this person's available for this.
Mike C has posted random.
No.
That is not what we want to read. All right. I mean, just because it's not Disney related, nothing wrong with it.
No.
What's in here?
Yeah, you should specify that when he's at a Disney Junior play date.
Just that it wasn't related to Disney. It was nothing inappropriate in any way, shape, or form. Tony Betty, I'm so sorry. Okay, also at Disneyland, if you are a Magic Key holder, good news next week. If you come to the resort on the 22nd, what's so funny?
Because I don't quite know what you're gonna say, but I'm like thinking to myself of what I know Magic Key stuff has, and I'm like, you can have the opportunity to spend more money.
If you come to the resort on the 22nd, hoping to see Ahsoka, because that's when the show premieres, you're gonna be out of luck. She comes on the 23rd, but you can still get your hands on this brand new Magic Key exclusive sipper.
How do you drink from that? Like, you're gonna... I hope that straw bends, because otherwise, it's not easy to ask.
Speaking of straws, did you hear the straw news?
The straw news?
Let me finish the zipper real quick. That's big news, bro. Hold on one second. So it's going to be available select days through August 31st, starting August 27th at quick service restaurants and outdoor vending carts throughout Disneyland and DCA while supplies last. You only can buy one per Magic Key holder and no discounts apply. Unfortunately, I don't see a price here. So just pretend like it was about 10% more and then feel like you got a 10% discount. All right, go ahead, Ben.
It looks like Disney World is going to stop having paper straws and plastic lids just out. You're going to have to request them. So,
really an environmental thing.
No
right?
straws at all.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, you can get them. It's not you can't get them, but they won't be just out just to kind of.
Now, is that already the case at Disneyland?
That is, you know what? I feel like it is, but I not with a high degree of certainty.
Okay, because that would just be a weird thing to do in Florida before California.
Yeah,
we don't have lids in Animal Kingdom at all, right?
They don't have lids. You can get a paper straw. Yeah.
Anyway, also coming to Disneyland next month, if you have trouble getting your head to the Magic Key sipper, we do have another option coming for you. And
this is really cool.
Oh, look, another glorious sipper. Makes me sick.
Al, did you write that script?
No.
We have a Hocus Pocus sipper coming to the Disneyland Resort.
Hocus Pocus mini sipper, specifically. It's mini as Winifred.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like Minnie's likeness rights are a lot cheaper than Bette Midler's.
Weird.
Coming September 5th. This is going to be huge, right? Hocus Pocus. They haven't drained that well dry yet, have they?
Well, I want to know, like, is this going to be like Winifred this year and then Mary and Sarah the next? Like, is this going to become a set?
Or they'll do the thing where they're like, oh, well, this one's a popcorn bucket and this one is a beignet holder.
Right. And that's what they do now, which is pretty smart. I don't know who's in charge of coming up with these weird food things, but that guy's a genius. I mean, if that's not a future Disney legend or window on Main Street, then the awards have no meaning. Brian Toll has a question that I think is worth answering, even though we just talked about it. It may come in a little late. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is coming back, ? Ben?
Yes, it is. It is coming back. It's the working title is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse 2.0. Let me pull up if I can get any more specific for you. It's coming in 2025. So, if your kid is Disney Junior age now, they won't be by the time it airs.
It says the new series will see the clubhouse expanding with a brand new area just for Minnie and the addition of Duffy the Disney Bear, Mickey's trusted teddy bear, who will make appearances in multiple episodes.
I miss that, and I feel like that should be its own story.
Duffy is coming. Yeah, that's in our story, and someone put that in. Tony, you're watching. Yeah, Duffy is going to be a part of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse 2.0. That's pretty cool. I know Duffy.
I'm going to mute myself to take care of this.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. So we've got Mini Fred. Thank you, Tony, for that. Kyle, if I'm not mistaken, you pushed this yesterday, so I'm going to let you take this.
Whoa. Yeah, so Light Bright, which have changed a lot since I was a kid and since you were a kid. They have some new Disney one. There's a Disney one and a Pixar one. It comes with some, cool patterns. And yeah, these are like, we actually have one for Stranger Things. It's totally different, much thinner than it used to be. Pretty crazy. So you have those two. But then the other thing that I thought was really cool is there is a reproduction of the Viewmaster 3D Mickey edition. I totally remember having a Viewmaster as a kid, and so this is pretty cool.
And if you find any of these interesting, I'm going to put a link in the chat. We certainly love when you purchase by going through our links because, Kyle?
We get a small commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but you support our work here at Laughing Place. So thank you.
Definitely appreciate it. All right, check the Twitters. The only thing that left on my list is the final part of my Adventures by Disney.
Oh, the grand finale.
Yeah, Ben is down there. Just a reminder, they went on the Adventures by Disney around the world, and they are now making the media circuit talking about that. So they did a podcast on the Solo, Alex did, talking about it. Ben, I believe, is going to be recording another one very soon. I'm not sure we should say the name of it, so I won't. And then I know he's got another one coming up as well, one of the larger podcasts in this Disney space. I was on one recently talking about, thank you very much, Benji, talking about Disney, My Adventures by Disney to Wyoming. That's on WDW Radio, Lou Mangello's podcast. So, if you're interested in Adventure by Disney, hearing about our adventures, especially Benji's around the world, you will be able to do that. And you can
Benji's around the world. There's a real good ABD.
So, fun fact, you know that there's a horse at Disney named Benji?
Do you know there's a dog in the Disney canon named Benji?
Thank you for this. I had this literally at the top for the breaking news this morning and skipped right over it and went right to Ahsoka. But Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson was this date just announced this morning, December 20th?
Yeah, so today's Percy Jackson's birthday. It's kind of a thing that, has been used as a marketing thing for a bit. In fact, the Empire State Building tonight will be decorated for Percy Jackson's birthday. I'm trying to find out the color for you because I just don't remember what it would be.
This is coming December 20th. They put out a new teaser. You can go check that out on YouTube. I'm going to mute it for the sake of copyright. You can go watch it. And our own Bill, who kind of covers the Percy circuit for us, says, Bill Gausel, the new teaser is fantastic. So many events from the first book they used in the series. Wow. So it looks like it's something to make Percy fans pretty happy.
Yeah, because apparently the adaptations that Fox made probably 15 years ago now were not well received by people that read the book.
Disney Plus is going to right that wrong. And as a reminder, don't take your time. See it soon. You never know. September 20th. All right. Did you find out your Empire, or should we move on?
I'm sorry? Yeah, it's going to be blue for Percy Jackson's birthday. I don't know why blue, but it is.
Were you a fan of Zach and Cody, Benji, back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, as much as a 20-year-old should have been.
Because on November 16th at 7:30 p.m., I guess once they went to a restaurant in, was it Greece, Rome, I forgot, a different country, and they wanted to just get seated. Yeah, we can seat you at 7:30 on November 16th, 2023. That date is now coming up. And so a bunch of Zach and Cody fans are trying to celebrate, flood their social medias on that at that exact time.
We should do something. You should remind me about that.
Yes, I am. That's part of why I'm bringing it up now. All right. One more time through my adventures by Disney Wyoming. We're kind of done with you, Ben, if you want to go. But obviously, feel free to hang around if you want to. Hey, Depeche Mode World Tour. Now we're talking. Yeah, sorry.
Does anyone analyze your targeted ads? Like,
I do this in a different browser too, just for that reason. But apparently, I've done some Depeche Moding over here. So day 7. This is the last day. Not a whole lot going on. Wake up, have breakfast, say goodbye to the poker table that we had so much fun at. Get on the road. We had this plush bus coming to Brooks Lake Lodge. Going back, we had 3 SUVs, which not quite as fun. One of them trailing this big trailer thing with all the luggage, which seems a little scary to me. And of course, that's the one they put me in. So I'm kind of white knuckling it the whole way down the hill. Seeing stuff from the front now. Before I could just see out the side of the bus, but now I can see out the front. Far more scary. This was easily the most terrifying part of the whole trip, was going down the hill from Brooks Lake Lodge. But we made it down. Our driver was great, very friendly. It's about an hour-and-a-half trip to the airport. Just talked to us. The most fascinating thing he was telling us is what it's like when it's snowing, when you're driving down this road in the winters of Wyoming. It's just like an 8-foot snowbank on both sides. It's just a tunnel of snow, and I'm just trying to imagine that. That's crazy. From a guy who's seen snow once in his life, that's just crazy. Our final family picture inside the SUV. So many beautiful sights, even just driving back to the airport, the Grand Tetons. Finally, we get there, we say our goodbyes. It's funny to say your goodbye right there when you're all going into the same tiny airport, and most of us aren't leaving for quite a while. So goodbye, see you later, and then we see them just a few minutes later. The giant Jackson Airport with its 10 gates. We were the last people to leave. I think our flight was at 6:30, so we got to hang out with people, and then one by one, as their flights would leave, give a final hug goodbye and everything, and say goodbye. And then we were the last people sitting there waiting for our flight. Well, this is now my favorite airport. Tiny, great views. You get to walk on the tarmac. Jackson's my favorite airport. And time to board the Delta, and that was our trip. The rest of the article I just kind of used to give my wrap-up thoughts. Again, I'll put a link to the article if you want to go into detail with this day or any of the other days. But the adventure I did by Disney was just the most spectacular vacation I've ever had. It blew me out of the water. I thought I knew what it would be, and I was so wrong. The guides here, again, Dusty and Casey, were just magnificent. The 23 other people we were on, 22, I can't even add, 22 other people, because there were 3 of us that we were on the adventure with, are what made the experience. Them and Casey. It's all about the people and the bond and the friendship you so quickly make. And you root for these people, and you enjoy spending the evening with them playing poker. And I've enjoyed continuing to be friends with them after. I loved everything that I did, but I mostly loved the people I did them with. And that's what made this the best vacation I've ever had. I hope I get to do an adventure by Disney again someday, but even if I don't, I'm so thankful I got to do this one again. Thank you to my best friend, Benji Breitbart, for sending us on this trip. Both for Laughing Place, but I know more importantly for my 50th birthday and for Rebecca's for our 25th anniversary. Thank you so much. It was fantastic.
Aren't you 51?
I'm 52. We were given this back in 2020. This was booked for July 2020, and something came up that kept it from happening, and so it got rescheduled to now. So that also allowed Rebecca's 50th birthday to get thrown in there. So we got the trifecta. Spectacular. All right. Thanks for following along. I am now done talking about. I feel like it's truly done. Like I came back from the trip, and I had to write these articles, and then we talked about it here. But now I'm totally done. No one wants me on a podcast, so I'm ready to move on. All right, Kyle, are you ready?
Yes.
Did you send me a pocket pick yesterday? You did, didn't you?
I did. It was posted like a month ago, but I enjoyed it.
Play the theme while I get it.
Play the thing while he gets it. Alrighty.
And I can't play it because I'm not able to play Instagram on this browser.
Okay.
And
well then.
Play the other thing. It's so annoying. I tried to log into my Instagram on here, not LP's, but my personal one. I don't know what happened that it went wrong, and now I can't even go to Instagram without wanting me to verify myself. Upload a selfie with this code on it.
Okay, yeah. So I've had similar issues because I have a bunch of Instagram tabs on here, and it's like, we think you got fished. Change your password again. I'm like,
It's
no.
just me.
It's
And I don't want to
just-
upload a selfie. I don't want to put this code. I just
Don't
want
want
to
to
show
watch Mr.
Instagram.
Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
All right. On this day in 1936, an actor was born in the MCU. That's all the hints you need because the year is 1936.
Okay. An actor in the MCU.
Yes,
Born in
major
19
character.
Stan Lee.
He's not a major character.
Oh, he's in every movie. It seems like a major character to me. Okay.
Is he the same character in every movie?
Maybe. Depends on how
I
big
would.
is your.
You know, there's all these fan theories about like how he's like
Yeah,
some
that's
cosmic
true.
being or everything. But
So this actor is one of the most famous actors in the history of acting.
it's got to be Robert Redford, right?
It is certainly Robert Redford. Absolutely.
Not a major
He was born.
character.
Yeah, that's a stretch. But yeah,
I should have said an important character. That's what was in my head. You're right. He's not major. On this day in 1956, something opened at Disneyland that is not an attraction, obviously, not a show. Still there, though, and one of the most iconic locations at Disneyland. I mean iconic, as in there's always been rumors of this place disappearing, and the fans just go crazy.
The picnic area.
what are you
Holiday
talking
Land?
about? That's still there. That's rumored
still
to constantly
there.
go away.
I'm not sure it's still there in the same way it was when in its heyday, but it's definitely still there. On Friday and Saturday nights at Disneyland, this was the place to be.
Oh,
Carnation Plaza?
Yes.
That's not there.
The location's still there.
no, it's
But they
not.
don't do dancing. I mean, like,
I didn't say they did dancing. I said the location is still there.
It's Fantasy Fair.
yeah, but I don't know. That's not the same
You,
thing.
dang it, it's still there. All right, fine. I'm comfortable with that. On this day in 1989, a movie was released. I will read you the description. Two teenagers help raise a cheetah. Dang, that really gives it away.
Cheetah, produced by Roy E. Disney.
And protect it from dangerous poachers and later merchants who want to use the animal for racing. Yes.
Symbol
it is
one.
Cheetah. And it is produced by Roy E. Disney. Ah, you are
Hi.
correct. All right, and finally, on this day in 2000, a Disney Channel original movie was released that is near and dear to my heart. Don't say it. I know Benji knows it, but I want Kyle to get this one. The most important Disney Channel original movie to me, because it was one of the first major interviews for Laughing Place to interview one of the stars of this movie.
He's saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever that
Yes. I will give you another hint.
countdown.
His nephew is a contributor to Laughing Place, the person I interviewed. We didn't know that at the time. I'm not sure he was born at the time to be.
Kimberly J. Brown.
Halloween Town. That's all I got.
All right, the movie is Quince. The
Okay.
uncle is Uncle Dan.
Oh.
And who's a huge Disney fan, and so I've seen it at a couple of events and asked him if I could interview him for Quince. And yeah, one of our first like real celebrity interviews, celebrities, Uncle Dan, but celebrity interviews with Daniel Roebuck of Matlock and The Fugitive fame. I think that's it. Anything going on in the world of Twitter, the Disney world? I see the plastic paper straw
Can I just
story
bring up a couple things that
there.
people may want to keep an eye out on?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, I know you guys talked about yesterday, but Lorcana is officially available for sale at local game shops and Disneyland Paris and the Disney Store in Times Square, not Disneyland or Walt Disney World. And
Yeah.
will be available on Shop Disney September 1st. So I know Kyle has probably the most Lorcana experience of us.
Buy it to me, buy Ravensburger. I'm holding them right now.
Also debuting on Disney Plus today is the Lego Princess special. So you may want to check that out. It's not getting a lot of buzz. I think kind of got the oxygen got soaked up by Ahsoka, but you may want to check that out.
Is there a reason Princess is a thing right now?
It was World Princess Week starting on Monday, so they're releasing it on Friday. And
But at 6 p.m., so it's technically Monday. No, just kidding.
And also starting tonight, but also actually starting today, but then will be on Disney Plus next week, is the 4K restoration of Cinderella, which is amazing.
Is it too good?
No, that's stupid. And if you want more, it's the same team that is restoring the show.
Now, just a minute.
Little late, sorry.
The same team that's
Thanks, Tony. I forgot about that. Yeah, he directed one of my all-time favorite movies, Quiz Show, Robert Redford, not Daniel Roebuck. Okay, come on.
I was gonna say Dynamite directed Quiz Show.
We're underselling this guy.
What was I gonna say? They're restoring those Disney shorts that you can see, and they're currently working on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And if you want more information, D23's podcast this week interviews a member of the restoration team.
I've seen a lot of stuff going around Disney in general about Chalk Walk. Is that coming up pretty soon?
Yep, Chalk Walk starts Sunday. I believe we have an interview with.
It might not work.
Zach posted, but yeah, it's scheduled for Sunday. Obviously, we're monitoring Hurricane Hillary, but
Our job.
What's that?
So that is our job. We are monitoring Hurricane.
Well, yes, I mean,
which side of Chalk Walk goes.
It's okay. Some of the people involved in this would schedule events, and I'd be like, there's like back in COVID, they'd be like, we're gonna do this at 8:00, and be like, there's a 7:00 curfew, and they'd be like, so.
Anything else?
No, I think that's enough.
I want to get a couple more from you. Kilimanjaro Safari.
KSR.
Cali River Rapids.
Cali.
Oh, okay. Let me get one more. Peter Pan's flight.
Pan.
Cool. Thanks for
I'm trying to
joining
think
us.
of any that are like more interesting than normal, like where it's
Primeval Whirl.
Ouch.
I would say although there's certain attractions where we don't go by the abbreviation. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
Aliens,
One more.
Flying Saucers being a newer one.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Let me get one more from you. Main Street Electrical Parade.
light show. Electric Light Parade.
Electric Light Parade, yes. That is what's its ubiquitous
Actually,
name.
no one calls it Electric Light Parade. They call it ELP.
We've got some, not breaking news, that would be, but Mike Celestino continuing his tweeting. Let's get one more thing in here. He is getting a good look at San Francisco right now. And the bridge is definitely finally taking shape.
Officially opens in less than 2 weeks. Okay.
They'll be done. They'll be done. I just saw the real version of this bridge on the way to pick up my wife this morning from a distance. And there it is.
All
right. 7:30 tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, our last show before we have competition coming from the world of Disney. We'll be doing Disney Trivia Live, the shows we postponed from Tuesday. We'll be going tomorrow, which are Park to Screen and Screen to Park, contributed by one of our regular players, One Little Spark. And then we'll be back on Monday to catch up on what is sure to be a fun weekend in Disney. Stay safe out there in Southern California. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you soon.